Friends, today we are diving into a very fun topic. And yes, I know I'm a little early on this. However, if you are doing bulb shopping right now, this is one of those items that you are going to feel remiss if you do not order now, because we are going to talk about Paperwhites. Now, Paperwhites are part of the daffodil family, and so it's kind of funny. They actually look like a cross between a daffodil and a tulip. Like any bulb, it has your flat bottom, it has your pointy top, and this is a type of essentially narcissus that is in the Tazetta family. So all of those kind of have like a long, slender stature with multiple blooms at the top. These, unlike other daffodils, you do not need a chill period to have them bloom. So essentially, these do not need a long cold winter to provide a gorgeous display. So I want to show you two different ways of planting these up, and we're going to do one method in soil, we're going to do one method over rocks and water, and I'm just going to walk you through the process. I am doing this now as a bit of an experiment because I want to see exactly how long it's going to take for them to get from planting to flower in the growing conditions in this house, because that is something I haven't done in this house yet. We're going to dive into method number one for planting Paperwhites. You are going to need some just super duper basics. We're going to have our Paperwhites. We need some decorative rock for the bottom. You can use anything, but I just kind of decided this neutral kind of whitey beige would be a good way to go. You're going to need a container and you're going to need some water. Bonus tip: booze. Okay, we'll circle back on that one. For your container, you can select a little bit of anything and everything. I am using this glass kind of almost reverse hurricane style vase. This is one that I picked up at Goodwill for $5, but the world is your oyster. I mean, you can talk, oh my gosh, like an old soup tureen with like a missing lid, or something like low and shallow. That would be gorgeous. You could do something, the one nice thing about using these things with taller sides is as your Paperwhites grow, it offers a little bit of support in case they get too tall. So first things first, when you are planting this out, you are going to add a layer of rock to the bottom. Now, since I am using glass, I'm going to do this very slow and steady, one by one, so I don't crack this. Okay, I think I'm going to stop right about here. Once you have this base in, and you really want at least, I would say, 2 inches of drain room here on the bottom, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to add a singular layer of your Paperwhites, so flat side down. Sometimes I actually like to stand up as I'm doing this, and I start in the middle, and then I kind of wind my way out. Ooh. Now, one thing about using a rock this size, the great thing is the color. However, the downside to a rock this size is you might have to work a little bit more to level your little bulbs in here. So this one keeps toppling over, so I'm going to lift him up, put a little flat rock underneath him, and put him back in place. If you have smaller rocks, this will be much, much easier to do. But there we are. So I have 11 of those little cuties right in here. And as they grow up, they're actually going to be snugged in and held by this little collar here. So that's where these tall planters really come into play. After this, all you do is fill up the bottom with water. And what you're actually going to do is you're going to fill it up until it's just touching the bottom of your bulbs. Now, sometimes these little papery skins, they will come loose in the water. As long as you're not pulling them off, it's totally fine. So what's going to happen is the water touching the base of these bulbs is going to encourage them to send down roots. Once your bulbs have sent down roots and you can see them growing, it's at that point that we are going to switch our watering mechanism. So when we have about 2 inches of roots going on down in the basin of this, it's at that point that you're going to try to pour off as much water as humanly possible, and you are going to refill it with an alcohol solution. I know, it sounds crazy, but you're going to use like a gin or a vodka, a hard alcohol that has like 80 proof, essentially, and you're going to do 1 part of that alcohol to 7 parts of water. And what that does is it slows down that water uptake, and the result is shorter paper whites instead of just a huge, long, stretched out stems. So this is going to be the first year that I am going to be trying that method. And so I'm going to keep you posted. I've been doing a lot of reading online, and there is some scientific research that is actually backing up this claim that you can slow the growth, the vertical growth of the paper whites, and still get gorgeous blooms. Now that these are all potted up, I'm going to bring these inside. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a bright, sunny location, but not like direct sunlight in the hottest part of the day. So something that is bright and cheery, but just won't get directly blasted. Once these start blooming, move them kind of wherever you want, but certainly keep them out of the direct sunlight. It's going to prolong that bloom period. So I will revisit this in a future video and kind of keep you apprised of the progress, because I'm very excited, because that is the one thing, is when you do paper whites indoors, they can get so tall and lanky. So I am very excited to try this new watering technique. Okay, let's try another method. Off we go. Friends, method number 2. I have this little terracotta pot. This is some of my favorite types of terracotta. This is a German terracotta that's this dark marbling. It is stunning. I actually have several of these, and I was thinking this would make a beautiful centerpiece down the middle of a table. I think probably like 3 of them. And around the holiday time, I personally love to decorate with a lot of organics. So you're going to see me bring that into play here. So first things first, you need at least 2 inches of potting soil kind of in the bottom of your container. That we are not going to plant these like a traditional bulb where you want them really deep. It's fine to have them close to the top. So as I start to plant these, what you're going to notice is I am having the tippy top of my bulb as it's emerging right about at this top level. And I like to pack these in. So let's see how many of these little cuties we can get in here. Oh, that is looking really good. I bet I can get 1 more. Oh, that is a giant one. Okay, that is looking really, really good. Okay, next thing, actually this one is a little high. Pop him right down. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fill in with just a little bit of soil right around the bulbs. And again, we're leaving these little tips exposed. And as you're planting this up, sometimes I'll get, larger chunks in my potting mixture, and I just pitch those. Okay, this is looking super duper cute. Okay, now, because I'm me, and at the holidays I like to get a little bit extra, I want to top dress this. Because for me, if this is on a centerpiece, I don't know why, I want a little extra layer of texture. We're going really simple, really clean, very organic with our vessel. And so I want to kind of continue that theme on. Now, based on your desires, based on your aesthetic, you can use a number of different preserved mosses. This one is just called a little forest preserved moss, and it has this brighter green color. You guys have also seen me use sphagnum moss on the front porch during my fall decor. That would be gorgeous here too. Again, use whatever speaks to your holiday tradition. You certainly don't have to do what I'm doing, but it kind of is like a nice little finishing touch, especially when this is going somewhere decorative, like on an end table or something like that. Okay, that is looking super good. And we just used a teeny tiny little bit. So we have this little cutie nestled into place, but do you remember when we were doing the glass vessel and I was telling you how they get really tall? Well, some people, what they'll do is once they get really tall, they'll actually tie like a ribbon or raffia or some sort of band around them. That's not my vibe. It can be your vibe. It's just not my vibe. So I want to show you two different alternatives using, again, natural materials from around my property. Okay, first option is this. Now, this is a branch from our birch tree, which is, I'm looking at it right there. In the fall and winter, it drops 8 bajillion sticks. And so what I am going to do with these 8 million sticks that it is dropping is I'm going to use them as a beautiful, natural, organic support system for my Paperwhites. Okay, I'm waiting. I see one other branch that has fallen, but I can't get it. But what I would do is I would add 2 more right here. Do you think you can get that, Brian? Do you think you can get it? We're gonna see if Brian can get this one. Oh, does it have any little guys on it? Oh, I would take the little end. Okay. All right, I have a couple more branches. Ooh. Excellent. And what I'm doing also, you guys, if you're curious as to why I'm being so gingerly about this, is I'm sticking my twigs down in between the bulbs. So right at that intersection of where each little bulb is meeting, that's where I'm poking these down. Okay. You guys, I am obsessed with this. Okay, it may look silly now, but I'm telling you, you guys, this is going to be so stinking cute as all of that greenery fills in. I mean, it is just like the perfect woodland touch. So I can even see, you guys, I could go super crazy with this. I could even see putting like little faux mushrooms in here and just having this so adorable. I could see also including a couple different types of mosses in here. The world is your oyster. Okay, I want to show you one other natural support system that I'm going to play with for this arrangement. Second option for a support system. This, my friends, is a clipping from my wisteria, or rather my neighbor's wisteria. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to form them into these cute little hoops. And I will show you how this is going to play out. My goal when I was dreaming this up in my head is that it would somehow look like a little flower supporting. We will see if that image comes through. Friends, it feels like we have a windstorm brewing here. Oh, that is really cute. Very adorable. Okay, one more. Friends, I don't know about you, but I love like a little crafty time. You know what? I think I could use one more. I may do one more. Oh, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Put this one over here. Okay, that is adorable. Get one more. Let's see, that one isn't long enough. That one is a little skinny, but I think she'll do. Maybe I'll put it on the inside here. Okay, there we are. How sweet is this? I have done 4 loops and I've kind of intersected them. You know, I think this one is actually my favorite, where you get this really beautiful bow shape in it, but I did kind of two a little bit taller, two a little bit shorter, but I like that it's irregular. I was also just talking to Brian, and some of the kiwi vines in the backyard, they're super just like scraggly and twisty and curly, and so I might use that as well. Just a light little watering in. These are so precious. They are so cute. Gosh, I don't know why, but I'm afraid to try the alcohol trick with this one, but I think it would actually work too. Should I try it? You know what? I'm going to try it. I've gone ahead and linked everything that I can find on Amazon in my store there, just so it's easy hunting for you. So I'll have the moss there. I'm going to see if I can track down some of these German terracottas. They are so, so good. Of course, forage materials, you are on your own. So again, these should be blooming in about 4 to 6 weeks for me. So I will be probably enjoying these for Thanksgiving. And then I'll be planting a second batch for my holiday table. My family celebrates Christmas. And so I'm imagining 3 of these little terracotta guys all the way down. Beautiful tablescape. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to see you in the next one. I hope you've enjoyed this, and say hello to your garden for me. Bye now.